Welcome back to the last 13 days. Um, Sick. All right. Um, we are 13 days away until the end. Um, my weight, I haven't measured my weight as far as where I'm at today. Um, it's been I think we're on track. I said yesterday that it'll be another 12-hour workday. So you can see from my eyes, I look just absolutely wrecked. Um, Besides that, it feels like short term fatigue. So I think I'm in a good space. Um, Mentally, I feel more acute than I have been. Um, if you go back and you look at 21 days left, you'll see me in a pretty awful spot. And then another episode, I can't remember which one before that, where essentially I had two episodes where I wasn't doing too well, wasn't concentrating. However, we seem to be getting a lot better and making strides in terms of concentration and amount of time worked. I know we had the goal of could I study possibly 12 hours in a day. Now, here we are, having done that a couple of days in a row. In fact, yesterday I did 21 hours of work. Today I've done 32. About 14 hours of study today. So I should preface that 14 hours does include physical training sessions. As far as how I feel about my body image, not much has changed. I feel pretty mid, as the Gen Zs call it. I am one such Gen Z on the cusp. I'm a zillennial. And I did a rehearsal with my coach today. Um, she told me to go away. I mean, this entire week's been prepping for this moment. She went, cool, all right, now show me what you've got. I performed for her, and she asked me, okay, cool, now that it's done, how do you feel about it? And I said, it didn't feel great. It felt actually quite awful. I didn't enjoy it, didn't have fun with it. It felt like it was on life support. And I went on and kept providing feedback to myself, saying I just need to keep in the work. I need to keep pushing, just showing up every day, yada 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 yada. And she stopped me and informed me. She said, "You're feeling your, as in not you are, but the your as in this is yours. You're feeling awful at this stage is a necessary stage. And anyone that ever tries to do anything has to go through that stage. There's the four stages of unconscious incompetence, which is you don't know what you don't know. You don't know how bad or good you are at something that you don't know, and so you're just oblivious. Then the awful stage is conscious incompetence, where suddenly you are aware of just how bad everything is. And that's where I am at with this performance. I am in conscious incompetence. I'm seeing the flaws, the smoke. I'm seeing the smoke and mirrors in the performance, and you're not supposed to show the smoke and mirrors and yada, yada, yada. But you need to power through, and that's the conscious incompetence. You need to fully embrace. You need to surrender to that, because if you don't, then you will prolong the period that you stay in that unpleasant space. Beyond that is conscious competence. Suddenly, you are aware of what it takes to be successful, and you do it, but it is a conscious effort, and it requires management and diligence and awareness brain space to maintain that. It takes effort to be consciously competent. You keep going, and eventually you start to build it into your routine. You start to make a habit and you familiarize yourself with it, and then it becomes unconsciously competent. Suddenly, you are good at this thing and it doesn't require a massive amount of brain space. That's where you want to get to. I'm currently sitting in conscious incompetence, which is the worst part of the process. It feels awful. It feels worse than unconscious incompetence, because at least then I can like, that's arrogance. That's the pinnacle of ego, where you perform and you go, I did fucking amazing, because you have no idea just how bad you were. Now I know how badly I am. And there is that temptation to run away from it, to turn your head away, to not face the truth of it, but you need to. And it's spooky because you don't know how long you're going to spend in that period. You don't know how long it's going to take you to get out of conscious incompetence. But the best thing you can do, and the thing I've been saying in this series all the way through, the big through line, is the best thing you can do to get through conscious incompetence as soon as possible is to show up every day. Just show up and do it. That's what I'm doing. On the other hand, there is some information that I will withhold, and it's just personal information, because I do need to take care of myself. I am a fledgling actor, and I can't expose absolutely everything, because then it won't end well if I reveal absolutely everything about myself. So there is, in truth, because I'm trying to be transparent, as I always do in these videos, I need to protect myself. So there is a level of censorship. So I'm not misleading you. I'm just not granting you 100% access to my life. I got some pretty fucking bummer news today about the 4 shows, because they are so undercooked and underprepared, and we are 13 days away. I received this news in the form of my coach identifying a problem that I'm facing, that I'm not aware of. Like I am consciously I am unconsciously incompetent about this problem. I didn't know that it was there. She identified it and she said, hey, this is what's happening. So unfortunately we have to do this, but it is because I would rather you have this valuable experience. There is this lesson that we're trying to get you to learn. That's more important than you trying to prove that you can do X, Y, Z. And just nod my head and I'll keep moving. Just keep showing up. That's it. What is it called? What? Wind, rain, or fall? Yeah. There is more in terms of showing up and the changes that have come with that. I am experiencing this weird subtle change that feels like it's deeply rooted in my subconscious, where suddenly I'm starting to back myself, and not frivolously, or not, because if we're being honest, all men have this. Well, that I know, this ego that part of them thinks they're untouchable. That's male privilege. But I'm starting to back myself sincerely. Like, I could confidently bet on myself. Now, I don't have the work to prove it, I still need to keep going and push hard for these last 13 days, and then I will have a month of performing. And then after that it's the film. If I can do well over these 13 days and then have these performances grow over the month, by the end I could have instilled incredible faith in the director of this film, and they might take a large bet on me, and it might turn out to be a pretty awesome film, as opposed to something more limited and reserved because they don't feel they could trust myself as a lead and not take risks. I want them to risk. So there's still plenty of time to develop myself. Yeah. Everything is transitory. That's the thing with culture today. People seem to think at whatever point your personality has been snapshotted and uploaded into the public domain profile, whatever. Like, a big example being cancel culture. Suddenly, if you do something, you do this one bad thing, and that's suddenly it blows up and it's in the public eye. All the public will be subjected to that one tiny part of your life, and you will never ever be allowed to grow. You could grow. You could personally for yourself, but everyone will hold you to the standard that was that at that moment. That is today's culture. But that's not how the arts works. The people working in that industry understand that everyone goes through ups and downs, and when you're on an artistic project, often it will undo you. So there is a massive level of respect and patience and innocent curiosity. Like, if you fuck up, they're not gonna condemn you. They will take a back seat, and they'll sit back and they'll watch you for a bit, but just to see what happens. Yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna call it tonight now because I am fucked. I'm fucking tired. And I'll see you guys tomorrow for the last 12 days. Ciao. And it didn't stop recording. Now we're officially overtime. Now it's awkward. Now I feel like you're invading my home because I tried to stop the recording and now you're here after the recording time. Now I feel like I have to force you out of my house. I'll see you tomorrow.